Greetings to you, great educators. Welcome to this video session on e-learning for educators, Alabama. My name is Samuel Chukwuemeka. In this video session, we shall add an assignment for our students in our Moodle classroom. An assignment is a task that requires students to do some reading, do some study, do some research on some specific topics or tasks and type up their responses in a Word document, and also cite their sources if they used any sources. Then upload their responses to you as a file or as files if it requires multiple assignments. Then you as a teacher will now review those assignments that were sent to you and give the feedback for the students, and if possible, resend it to your students to make corrections, as needed. So it is usually good for tasks that require detailed responses, such as essays, projects, reports, and so on. So what we want to do now is we want to turn editing on, and let's add our assignment for this week. September 9 to September 15. So we click on add an activity. There are four types of assignments in the Moodle classroom. The assignment could require advanced uploading of files. That is the best option so far. Or it could require an online text. It could also require uploading a single file, or it could be an offline activity. Now, if you want your students to upload multiple files, for instance, if it's multiple assignments, or if you want to give them that option of correcting it after you review it, then it's best to go with advanced uploading of files. So on the assignment name, let's say I want my students to learn how to write word problems from equations. Word problems is something that a lot of students are scared of, but it is just writing in English, then translating it to math. So let me say my assignment name would be word problems on linear equations. And then I come to the description here. In the description, it is good if you are specific on what you want your students to do. Some students usually do not know where to start from just by reading the description. I mean, it is good you go that extra length to give them an example of what you want them to do, or to just give them a hint or direction on what you want them to do. So in the description field, it's good to be specific as possible. And also to tell them how they can submit that assignment once they have done it. Okay, so my description here, I will say make up a word problem that is a real world scenario. Okay, now translate that English Make up a word problem that is a real world scenario. Translate that English into math. Okay. You do not need to solve. You do not need to solve the equation. Just translate. Then use appropriate letters for your variables. Okay, so this is what I want them to do, and I will give an example so that they will have a sense of direction of what I mean. For example, I have one already here which I'm going to pick up. Question 10. This was the notes I did and the video I did for my students, so I just want to use it. So I'll come here and paste my example, and it's kind of big. If I want to see it well, I click on enlarge editor. I pasted it as it is, so I want to kind of reduce it to 3. Okay, and I can kind of put this here. I kind of make this bold for them to know that it is an example. So I've given them an example on how they would have to write it. Then what I want to do now is to give them a direction on how they can submit this assignment. Yeah, so type, I want this to be in let me change it back to the font, black. Type your responses, and this should be, remove the bold. Okay, type your responses in a Word document. And save it as a document file. Then click the, I want to now give them how they can submit this assignment. Okay, so I will say click the browse button, to locate your assignment. Okay, then when you find the file, double click on it, and the name will appear in the field. Okay, then click on upload this file button to submit your assignment. Okay, so this is kind of making it detailed so that students will not be confused, especially if you are teaching an entirely online class. Students usually have difficulty in doing it the proper way. Yeah, now if it is a blended learning class, then it's good, because they can still meet you in class and you kind of explain it to them. Okay, now I will go back to my minimized editor. I finished this. Then depending on what your grade is, you can set your grade the way you want it. If you want to grade it, you want to make it available within, if you want to make it available within a specific time, you can set it right here. If you just want to make it available, all the time, then you can disable this. You can also set your due date. For now, I will just leave it as it is. Prevent late submissions. If you do not want late submissions, then you might want to click this yes. But usually I give my students that opportunity to always turn in late submission. Now, whether they get a grade for it or not is another thing, but would I give them the opportunity to turn it in? Yes. That's what I usually do. I mean, you choose to do what you want to do. You want the maximum size. I think that's said already in the course, that the maximum size will be 64 meg. Allow deleting. If each of these, if you click on the help icon, it tells you what you can allow. If you enable this, then they can delete uploaded files at any time before they submit it for grading. Now, they have two options. They can either save it as a draft or they submit for grading. Now, once they submit it for grading, that is it. You now review it and make the corrections. And if you want, you send it back to them to do those corrections, but if you allow deleting, that means anytime they can, even if they've uploaded it but they have not submitted it for grading, they can still do that. And you can set how many files you want them to upload here. Yeah, I think the maximum here is 20 files. So allow notes. They can enter the notes. I like this allow notes, so that some of them might want to add extra notes to what they submitted. I usually encourage that. Okay, yeah, it can be used for communication with the grading person, assignment progress, description, or any other reading activity. So allow notes, I will check it as yes, I want it. Yeah. Hide description before available date. No, I want my description to be open. Then email alerts to teachers. I want this to be checked. Yes. So this is an option that enables you to receive an alert whenever the students add or update the assignment. Enable send for marking, of course. Yes. Okay. Now, if you are not assigning it in groups, then you leave it as it is. Visible, you want to show it. Now, grade category is right now is uncategorized, but these are the grades we have. You can set up a category for this. Yeah, but right now I would just want to leave it as it is. Then I click on save and return to course. So what we want to do now, we are not done yet. Okay, we are not done yet. We want to see this as student. So I turn editing off, switch role to student. So the student will come to your course and see that this is an assignment, word problems on linear equations. The student will click on it. Okay, so the student will see this and read it, and then they will make up their own. So let's say that I want you to test it as a student. So what I'll do is, let me pick another example here. This is another example. So if I were a student, I want you to do this as a student and test it yourself. So I'll paste this. Okay, so I will go here, I'll save it, save as. Now it's good to save as a Word document, 97 2003 document. It's usually good to save it so that it could be opened by those versions of Microsoft Word. Now they can name the assignment, you know, word problem assignment, or what problem on linear equations assignment, what problem on linear equations assignment. Okay, save. Okay, this is one thing with saving in 97 2003. It doesn't matter, you click continue. Okay, you can close this now, and you click on a choose file. And if I don't want to start looking for this, I'll just look at word problems. Started with word problem on linear equation assignment. That is this. So I click on it right here. Gives it to me. I can double click it, or I click on open, and then I click on upload this file. So it has uploaded, right? Yeah. If I want to add a note, you know, I can just edit and write a note. This is my assignment on word problems on linear equations. I mean, if the student wants to add a note, you might want to require it of them. It also helps if they know how to write well in English. So you save changes, and it's been done, you know. Now you now come here. If you scroll down, you say final submission for assignment marking, because this is like a draft now. Okay, so you click on send for marking, and it tells you this: once the assignment is sent for marking, you will no longer be able to delete or attach files. Do you want to continue? And I click yes. So now you go to your course, and you click on return to my normal role like your student, and then when you click on this word problems on this, okay, you will see the assignment that your student sent to you. So when you click on it, it opens up. You can now open it, click on enable editing, and you will see it. Then you can make reviews, you know, you can make corrections based on what the student did. Okay, so please, I would like you to test it as a student, to submit it, and make sure you were able to open it. Okay, thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and you have a great day.